Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, come on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good. Welcome to this service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. We are so glad you have chosen to spend time with us. We really are. We know that you have lots of options and obligations on a Sunday, and we're grateful that you're here. My name is Charlie Destries, and I am Michelle's warm-up band. And just a little bit about me. I've been here for about 3 years, so I'm relatively new to the UU, and it's been an amazing ride. It's just wonderful people. It becomes part of your family. And it's funny, I took a walk for a few months recently and came back, and it was like I didn't leave. I mean, it was just fantastic. It truly, the people here, you get to know them so well, and they become so important to you. So if you are new here, you're going to experience that if you stay a few minutes. For those gathered in the chapel, please turn your phones off. We do have a Wi-Fi signal that if phones are turned on, it gets diluted, and people who are watching this at home have a weaker signal. It basically has a tough time. So if you could turn off your phones, that would be fantastic. And if you don't, we will know who you are. Also, if you're feeling chilly, hug the person next to you, or Mickey has a blanket in the back, a whole bunch of really cozy blankets, and so someone can bring one over to you, or you can go grab it, and you're welcome to do that. And if you're looking for a listening device, something that could really help you hear things more, we have devices back there where Mickey is as well. Mickey, wave your hand. There you go. Okay. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism or to this particular congregation, I invite you to take a breath and relax and participate as fully as you are comfortable. You're welcome to move around with us, to stay seated, to stand up, sit down when we sing, whatever's comfortable. And just realize that there's really no conformity here. There's no rules. It's do what's really good for you, and you'll find that it's good for everybody else too.
I don't know, I was going to sing Good Morning, but now I'm a little nervous about that. So I would appreciate it if you'd sing back even louder than you did for Charlie. Not that there's a competition, but there could be a little competitive spirit here. Good morning! Good morning! Oh, nice. Now I know exactly what to ask for. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of our identities, are she and her. In this space, in person and online, there are many identities. Not everyone experiences the world the same way or necessarily believes the same things. What matters is that we keep love at the center of who we are, at the center of what we value, and at the center of what we strive to do in the world, keeping love at the center. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, you are welcome here. You are welcome in this sacred space. I like to begin our time together with intentional breathing and toning, which some people call singing. But I find it sneakier if I just use elaborate voice teacher words about it. So we're going to breathe, and we're going to tone, and it's going to be kind of fun. Today's opening song can be found in the Teal Hymnal. It's number 1040. This is a song from the African American enslavement period. We're going to sing, if you're looking in the hymnal, we're just going to sing 3 verses and then go back and sing the first verse again. But there will be a clue on the monitors. So I invite you to rise. We often do this as sort of a seated thing, but I would like you to rise. You can get a better breath as we sing Hush. first verse. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Awesome. You may be seated. We call one another to worship with these words by Unitarian Universalist minister, Reverend Peggy Clark. Easter is a holiday of miracles. It is life from death, joy from sorrow, celebration from mourning. Easter reminds us that all is never lost, that the story continues as long as we are here to tell it. So gather up your worries. We are going to bury them beneath the ground and watch them transform into flowers of hope, pushing through the earth, reminding us that on Easter morning, love brings us back to life, calls us from sadness, from grief, from anxiety, into a world renewed and alive and filled with joy once again.
Our land acknowledgement will be assisted by Debbie Maxey and her kids, Rory and Isla. Or is it Ayla? I think it was Ayla. Isla? Each week, when we gather to begin with a land acknowledgement, this is not just an empty ritual. In this rite, we recognize that we are stewards of the acres upon which our church stands. But more than that, we honor our connection to the earth and offer our gratitude to the only planet in the whole universe that can really create and sustain us. We pour this libation to care for this precious home for our spirits, to speak and act on behalf of the earth, and to seek to partner with those who are indigenous to this place, that we and our descendants may also bless and be blessed. It is our custom for the chalice lighting when we gather to light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or a vessel that symbolizes the gathered community right here and is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Thank you.
It's time to sing again. I know you're so excited. You're going to be super excited because we're going to split the room into groups of people who will sing parts that are not at all like the people next to you. Won't that be fun? It'll be a little bit like the mystery of Easter. How is this all going to turn out? It's going to turn out with beauty and love and life. So, let's see. How am I going to split this room up? I'm going to split. You can cozy next to a person, or you can be like, yeah, this is my opportunity. I'm not with you. But we're gonna do this. So this is one chunk over here. So Ron, you're part of chunk 1, just so you know. You're chunk 1. Oh, you want to be chunk 2? I don't care. Okay, chunk 2 is going to be half of this middle section and half of this middle section. And then, so you're going to be chunk 2, right? Chunk 3 is going to be the remainder of this section. And chunk 4 is all y'all. Okay. So for some of our long-timers, there's some history around this song that some people really didn't like it. And so I thought it was the perfect song for us to bring today because it's so likable. So it's 4 distinct parts. Yeah, let's just go in descending order. I'm just going to sing through each part, and I'll look at you meaningfully if that's going to be your part. Okay, and this is also in the Teal hymnal. If you are a person that likes to look at notes, please find it in the Teal hymnal at 1003. All right, so the first part. See, so the first part, people, listen to this. You can sing with me if you want. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? You got it. Good. So, chunk 2 people. Yeah, I think I actually want you all to be 3s over there. I just changed my mind. Because 2 is easy, right? It's 1 word, over and over. Okay. Oh, let's do mystery. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to make it so fit on the slide.
I see.
Okay. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle. You got this. Okay. Then this is the, where do we come from? Where are we going, right? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we? And you all, you just kind of get to like coast over here. So let's hear their part. Where do we come from? Perfect. All right. This is going to be super fun. Okay. I'm elated. And a little bit frightened, but I have great faith in your enthusiasm. So we're going to build this, because you don't have to try to, because now all of you are thinking you sing that part. So we're going to build it, and then we're going to sing it sometimes, and then we'll stop singing it, and it'll be perfect. All right. Do you feel like this is a stand-up? Yes. I feel like it. Thank you, April. I feel like it too. All right, let's rise and bow to your spirit. Okay, some sort of here we go. Here we go. Do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery, life is going. Where do we come from? Keep singing. Where are we going? I remember this part. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where are we going from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Last time, where do we come from? What are we? I love to be right. Okay, have a seat. We're going to engage in a shared prayer written by Unitarian Universalist minister Jane Urzepka. Charlie will be reading as all with all y'all, and I will start us out as one. O Spirit of life and renewal, we have wintered enough, mourned enough, oppressed ourselves enough.
Our souls are too long, cold and buried, our dreams all but forgotten, our hopes unheard.
We are waiting to rise from the dead.
In this, the season of steady rebirth,
We awaken to the power so abundant, so holy, that returns each year.
through earth and sky.
We will find our hearts again and our good spirits. We will love and believe and give and wonder and feel again the eternal powers.
The
The flow of life moves ever onward through one faithful spring and another and now another. May we be forever grateful. Alleluia. Amen. It is our custom when we gather to create the space, the gap, the container where we can bring all that we carry with us, all the joys, concerns, and sorrows, all of the complicated feelings of the season, of the world, and for just even this hour, to let them go, to put them down, trusting that they will be held tenderly in this time. And so as the music plays, I invite you, as you will, to come to one of the table labyrinths. There's one up front and a smaller one in the back by the candles, and place a stone or shell to symbolize all that you are and all that you bring. Come forward. I place a final stone in honor of the joys, concerns, and sorrows held by our online community. Know that you are also held in this warm embrace. And actually, I'm going to put one on for me, too. For the joy, for the chaos, for the beauty of community. It just doesn't get any better than this. For our meditative song, we're going to sing a piece by Libby Roderick. We'll be singing it through twice. I'll be giving a relative pitch if you are unfamiliar with the song. By the second time, I feel like you'll be right in the groove. This is such a tender song. Sing it not only for the people here, the people in your life, but also for yourself. I'd like to invite my kid friends and their adults to come on down. Adults, it's optional. Kid friends, it's absolutely mandatory. But nothing is mandatory here. Okay. You saw how close that was, right? Okay. Yes, please. My friend Charlie is going to help bring down the box of mystery. And right on the step there. Thank you. Thank you. You know, life is full of mystery, mystery, mystery. Life is full of mystery and wonder and so many good things. Wow. Wow. Go ahead. It can be overflow. Feel free to overflow. I'm had to buy a bigger rug. What a grand, grand problem. There. Look at y'all. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. What on earth is... Well, this is a mystery in a box. Well, it's quite pretty. It could be a rug, but maybe we'll put this out for more people to sit on. Oh, you know what? I remember. This is my friend's shawl that sometimes she wears.
I said that it could be a shawl.
You did say it could be a shawl. Would you like to be the person who wears the shawl for the moment? Here, I'll put it on you. There. If you get too warm, pass it on.
It's thin. So
It is thin, but kind of soft and cozy. I got that at the clothing ministry. Shall I give a plug for the clothing ministry? We have one. And we have wonderful things, and it's always open. And if you want to know more, ask anybody that is hovering near the welcome desk, because they'll know. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay. That's okay. It was my job. So, I brought a friend with me today. This is my friend Mary. Some people call her Magdalene, and that means the tower. And she this is a really special weekend for her, and she wanted me to tell you a story because she lost someone she loved, but then discovered that they still lived in her heart and just in a different way. And she asked me to tell you the story of dragonflies and butterflies. Do you know butterflies aren't born butterflies? Do you know this? Yeah, what do they start out as? Caterpillars. Do you know what dragonflies start out as? I know, I didn't either until Mary told me. They start out as water bugs. So when you're like at a creek or something, and you see those little water bugs that's how they swim, just like that. They turn into dragonflies. So how does a butterfly go into, do they just go, Shazam, I'm a butterfly? Do you know, Bowers, what happens?
They build a cocoon.
They do, they build a cocoon. And something happens in there and they transform into a butterfly. You're right. And you know how dragonflies come? Because these water bugs, they see these, when the moment is right, when they feel in their heart that the moment is right, they climb a reed out of the water, and then something happens. And then they turn into dragonflies. But you know the thing is, like all the caterpillars do, the left ones, like, oh, Charlie Caterpillar. That just came out. I didn't even make it about Charlie, but now it's all about you. Charlie Caterpillar's going around and notices that their friend, Alabama, is no longer around. Where did Alabama go? And everyone's like, I don't know. No one came to the caterpillar party. Well, because Alabama caterpillar, not easy to say, began the transformation process. And with the dragonflies, once a water bug is changed into a dragonfly, they can't go back in the water. They're always skimming on the top, but they can't go down deep. And so their friends are like, well, where'd they go? And maybe some of them, I don't know if they have necks, but maybe they look up and they see dragonflies zipping around. And they're like, wow, I don't know what that is, but that's going to be them. So transformation happens. And even though my friend Mary can't see her friend anymore, she knows that transformation has happened, and he's still there, right? Our friends are always in our hearts. It's going to get really theological in a little bit, so I'm going to send you off. You're going to go to the Emerson room, which is different from where you normally go, okay? So make sure that you follow Miss Katie and Molly and all the adults that are going to go in the right direction. All right, let's sing our children on their mystery tour. Yeah, keep that on. Isn't that the most beautiful music, that the sound of buzz, 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 as they go to their program? I love that. So Charlie and I will offer to you a threshold to worship.
We come seeking a community with the power to take our pain and transform it. To take our mourning, our confusion, our anger, our hurting hearts, and transform them all. Not erase them, not carry them for us, not make them small or unimportant, but hold them and change them and love them into something new.
We come seeking a community with the power to declare that such transformation is possible. Not because of what we all believe about God or heaven or hell, but that such transformation is possible. Because we will meet one another in our pain, mourning, confusion, anger, and hurt.
We will meet one another there, but not leave one another there. There in the places where pain lives, in the places where it's all muddled, in the places where our anger consumes us, in the places where our fear takes hold. We will meet one another there, but not leave one another there.
There, in those places where we are expecting a heavy stone and the pain of a beloved's death, we meet instead the unexpected lightness of the stone that has been rolled away. We meet instead the gift of possibility in an empty tomb.
There, in those places, we meet the eternal truth that neither fear, nor death, nor anger, nor heartbreak gets the last word. Even when we are running, scared, uncertain, we meet one another there and declare that love gets the last word. We meet one another there and we declare, in spite of a world that seems hell-bent on making it not so, that love gets the last word.
We come seeking a community with the power to take our pain and transform it, to take our mourning and hold it and change it and love it into something new. Come, seeking as we are, and let us worship. From the Gospel of Mary, chapter 6. Peter said to Mary, "Sister, we know that the Savior loved you more than the rest of the women. Tell us the words of the Savior which you remember, which you know, and we do not, nor have we heard them." Mary answered and said, "What is hidden from you, I will tell you." And she began to say to them these words. Long-told tale, we may find that there are hidden things that we have not known, and those things we think we have known, but our knowledge is partial, incomplete, offered in a simplification of universal truths. Today we seek knowledge, gnosis. We are agnostics, interpreting a tapestry that took millennia to weave with carefully chosen hues and stories. For those with eyes and ears of the Spirit, let us see and hear. What did Mary share with the other disciples, both men and women? What wisdom did she alone have, and how was it transmitted to her? And what new light do we bring to our lives with these mysteries uncovered? Many of us have received just one story among many to represent the life, teachings, death, and resurrection of Jesus, whom some call the Christ. If we as Unitarian Universalists are to find relevance for ourselves in the Easter moment, we must be willing to open that which may have been slammed shut and locked away within ourselves and within the traditions we have inherited. We must approach this new material and new perspective with open minds and hearts, being true to what we claim to be. Easter is tricky for Unitarian Universalists. Although our heritage is Christian, and many of us are come-inners from Christian backgrounds, the desire to celebrate Easter can be complicated. Maybe we have an allergic reaction to a magical Jesus and the resurrection. So today we will attempt to reconcile our various understandings and expectations for this holiday and our place in it. We will reclaim a story that is more powerful than our more orthodox siblings could even imagine. As is often the case, we have so much to learn and so much to unlearn. So I invite you to suspend for this time your disbelief and let the gospel story live in the 21st century. At no point will you be asked to believe in miracles or set aside your reason. I simply request that you open your minds to perspectives that may be new to you, even if they challenge tightly held assumptions. I also note that the Bible is not and was never intended to be a historical document. It is not an eyewitness account of literal events. The purpose of the stories of the Bible is to describe people, brilliant, flawed, painfully human, and their journey toward wholeness. We are meant to find ourselves in these stories and to confront our own actions and assumptions. So I'm curious as to which Easter story you know. There's more than one. I'm just referring to the Gospels that you can find in the Bible, in the approved scriptures, not any of the hundreds of other Gospels, legends, and letters that did not make the cut. So, with a nod to our Unitarian ancestor, William Channing Gannett, let's discover what is commonly known among us. So raise your hand if this story resonates for you. When Jesus was arrested, all his friends fled. Is that a story that you know? Okay, good. So that's somewhat true to the story, but I do wonder if everyone left, how do we know what happened? Historians at the time barely even mention the prophet of Galilee, much less any big theatrical details like earthquakes and the sun blinking out. Okay, so kind of in that same vein, how many of you in the story of Easter that you know, it contains that Jesus died alone, well, aside from the other people on crosses? Nope, not alone. Although Peter denied him and Judas betrayed him, the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke note that his friends and Mary Magdalene specifically were at the cross. Okay, so how many of you know the story as there is an angel sitting on a rolled away stone to announce Jesus' resurrection? You're afraid now to raise your hands, I know. Yes. See, haha. For those of you who were afraid to raise your hands, now you're feeling a little bad. Yes, at least in Matthew and Mark. In Luke's story, two angels abruptly appear as the Marys, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of Jesus, and Mary Salome, as they come to investigate the empty tomb. In John's Gospel, Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb with two of the male disciples, and while they are inside investigating things, an angel appears to her, alone. So this is not to diminish your knowledge of the story, nor is it to diminish the story. It's to highlight the fact that there is more than one. Each storyteller speaks from their own experience and viewpoint, what's important to them. Too often, we pounce on inconsistencies as if there was one factual story that must be adhered to, and any departure is proof that the story is false. How ironic that we dismiss the literalism of believers by wielding the sword of factual literalism. When we engage the text with new eyes and open hearts, we can discover new things. So we began with an unfamiliar text, the Gospel of Mary, that did not make it into the canon, the approved books that eventually became the Bible. But now let's turn to the Gospel of John, one that you're probably more familiar with. This is from chapter 20. We're going to pick it up 2/3 of the way through. Mary was standing close outside the tomb weeping. Still weeping, she leaned forward into the tomb and saw 2 angels clothed in white sitting there where the body of Jesus had been lying, one where the head and the other where the feet had been. "Why are you weeping?" asked the angels. "They have taken my master away," she answered, "and I do not know where they have laid him." After saying this, she turned around and looked at Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. "Why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?" he asked. Supposing him to be the gardener, Mary answered, "If it was you, sir, who carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away myself." "Mary," said Jesus. She turned around and exclaimed in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which is to say, teacher. It's notable that in this gospel account, Mary's at the graveside alone. She goes there, she has the right to go there, the prerogative, because she is the companion, the koinonos in Greek. Mary's not the biblical repentant prostitute, a tenacious lie that was nearly 1,400 years in the correcting and still not completely out of people's heads. But she was the apostle that Jesus loved the most. We find that in the Gospel of Philip, also one of those Gospels that didn't make the cut. Jesus and Mary were kindred spirits, and it's possible that the secret knowledge that Mary held and the other disciples desired was born of that intimacy of being kindred hearts. Yet in John's account of the risen Christ, Mary doesn't recognize Jesus. She doesn't recognize him until he calls her by name. Somebody's calling my name. Somebody's calling my name. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? He rises to her first, but she doesn't realize who it is until she hears her name in his voice. And then she calls him Rabboni, which is more personal. It's more emphatic than the title of rabbi, teacher. She actually calls him great master. I need to make an important distinction between resurrection and resuscitation. It's a distinction that even the gospel writers couldn't agree on. In some accounts, the risen Jesus cannot eat, and he cannot drink, and can seemingly walk through walls, while in others, he cooks breakfast and shares the meal with his disciples. He offers his hands and side for them to touch. I think it matters far less to have an actual resuscitated body in our midst than it is to discover that something of our beloved dead lives on in us. They've changed us in some fundamental way, and we experience their presence even in their absence. Regardless of the variations on the story that the Gospels present, Earthquakes or no earthquakes, one or two angels, the presence or not of the risen Christ, there is an element of the story, as John narrates it, that deserves our attention. Because, miracles aside, it may be the most important, overlooked moment. Mary Magdalene, follower, as noted in the Gospels of Thomas and Philip, beloved companion of Jesus, does not recognize him until she hears her name spoken in his voice. Mary Magdalene, who bore witness as Jesus was tortured and killed, and even stood watch as he was laid in the tomb, only experiences the reality that love always gets the last word when she hears him call her by name. As our opening words proclaimed, love gets the last word. If I were composing a story, a huge story that would inspire generations of the truth that love is stronger than death, that even when we do nothing to invite love into our lives, it persists, its presence unmistakable and transformative, that story might contain the drama and pathos of the Easter story. You see, it doesn't matter if a story is literally true. It can still touch us. It can change us. We know that. We know what it feels like to be caught up in a story as we weep at poignant moments in books and films. A story does not need to be long and elaborate to be true and to have an impact. Stories have the power to change us if we allow ourselves to cross that holy threshold and find our place in the story. We are changed when we say yes to the voice calling our name, inviting us into a story larger than ourselves, calling us into service, calling us into authenticity. I wonder if your heart is attuned to the sound of that voice calling your name, and what is it calling you to? We're going to take a breather and sing a bit. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing Now the Green Blade Riseth. Be seated. Love lives again, that the dead has been, love has come like wheat that springeth green. Well, that's exactly where we've left off. Love lives again. What is the miracle and mystery of Easter? It is that love lives again. That which has been with the dead has been restored to us because it lives within us. There is no need to cling in desperation to that which fades, but to allow it to move freely within and among us. To say that Jesus came into this life only to die for the sins of others is to shortchange the value of his life and his teachings. His death upon a cross is the culmination of a life of kenosis, self-emptying love. He did not come to demonstrate an integrated life that only he could live, but to show the way for all of us to live undivided lives, not by believing in him, but by living as he lived. That is the message that was left out when the Gospel of Mary was not included in the Bible. This is the Easter moment, the resurrection of hope, of life, of rolling away of the stone that has kept us entombed. Like Mary, we can hear our names spoken in love's voice, the universal love that lives within us, that calls us to live undivided lives. Love is calling us back to life.
What we have at UU Amherst is pretty special. These days, it can be hard to find a community of thoughtful and caring people who are also welcoming and inclusive. It's also really good for our health, by the way, to get together in a group of people instead of staying at home in front of TV. We really hope that you found this home here. Whether you give online, through automatic bank withdrawals, or randomly with the cash in your pocket, we are so grateful. Folks who are participating online, we hope that you will text your gift to the number that is on the screen. We began our service. Oh, so sorry. Yes. Let me back up. The offering will now be greatly received. Darn, I thought I underlined that. Thank Debbie Maxey again and her kids for helping us with extinguishing the chalice. We began our service with the lighting of our chalice, and now we extinguish the chalice, not to quench the flame, but to return it to our individual hearts, strengthened by this time that we have spent together, so that we can share our light in the world. Please join your voices with mine. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to an end, our mission to the world is ready to begin. You'll find many opportunities for growth and service in your order of service and on our website. All are invited to stay for coffee and conversation in the Emerson Room, just through the double doors at the back of the chapel and in the lobby. There is reserved seating in the back of the Emerson Room for families right at the window end of the room where there are kid-friendly activities.
Okay, this is where I'm going to butt in.
Sure.
I have an announcement. So we have an opportunity on April 24th to experience UU singer-songwriter Jim Scott in concert. He's fantastic. And it's he has a suggested donation on the poster, but you can ignore that. It'll be a free will offering. Bring people. He's very eco-friendly. This is like Earth Day week extravaganza. So Put that on your calendar. It's everywhere. It's in the newsletter. It's in all the places. April 24th. Potluck first. How fun is that? And then great music. So yeah, bring everybody you know.
Thank you, Michelle. And now, everyone, please rise in body or spirit or anything you have as we sing our closing blessing. Don't forget to twinkle your eyes and share smiles with one another during the third verse. Remain standing afterward for the benediction.
But first, those of you who have children in the program, this is your opportunity to go and meet with them. There is a bunny who is about this tall, who is going to hop along and bring your children great joy. So this is the moment. To the Emerson room with you, parents and caregivers. Okay, now we can sing. It's time to twinkle. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy and remember I'm your friend. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. Go in peace, have a little fun, make a difference.